go by the name Plugg, Mr. Break 'em Off, Mr. Never Take a Loss, the one and only. Plugg, make a vet.
Alright, where you from?
I'm from the Westside of Atlanta.
Westside of Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
What was it like growing up in the Westside of Atlanta?
It was different from most.
Different than most?
Yeah. You know, I grew up kind of rough, but I seen both sides of everything. So I done seen the good and bad to every situation. So it's kind of different growing up on the West Side anyway. Growing up on the West Side, you experience to a lot. You see a lot at a young age.
But what do you think about, man? It's been a wild summer. Hey, what you think about all these murders, man? What's going on in the city right now?
Man, it's crazy. Like, honestly, it's crazy. You have to. That's a situation you have to smile to keep from crying, because I know so many that I've lost, not just this year but over the years. Like, Atlanta has been going through this. It's just now being broadcasted, but Atlanta has been one of those dangerous cities. Like, to me, Atlanta has been one of the most dangerous cities in America, because at any given moment, it can be so much going on to the point where the news can't even cover it, but you'll never know it unless you hear it. As of right now, I feel like we're starting to move in the right direction. We started off kind of shaky. You know, the rioting and the looting I can't say it's okay. I get you want attention, but it's a certain way and a certain aspect of handling everything.
So you don't think that the rioting was correct? Like, you don't think that?
I'm not saying that it's
not. Let me ask you this question: do you think that it was effective?
It was effective, but in a way it was effective, good and bad. That's why I say I can't say it was correct or incorrect.
Yeah.
You know, it showed that we're not scared to move. I get that.
What do you think about when they killed? Like, it was different. Like, first it was George Floyd. I was out here every day. You know what I'm saying? First it was George Floyd, but then when Rayshard Brooks got killed, what was the difference? Like, how did Atlanta feel from that? Like, what did you think about that whole situation?
That whole situation, to me personally, I feel like Atlanta took it in a sense that made them. We did some things right, but some things wrong. So, in a sense, yeah, we kind of got justice, but we kind of didn't get the point that we're trying to get across.
About the government as a whole and, like, systematic racism and how it's holding us back.
I believe in it because I'm a part of it. I've seen it growing up. I've witnessed it. I've seen like I say, it breaks down to the minority and the majority. I've seen the majority win when I've always been the minority of the situation. So I come from it. I've seen it. I know it's real. I know not just race, but physical aspect. Even with me being a man, I know there's certain things that I can do where I get over on a woman. And she could be better at it than me truly, but I win just because I'm a man.
What's it like on the West Side right now?
On the West Side right now, it's different. You have a lot of what we call the gentrification of the West Side. So you got a lot of rebuilding, and it's not the West Side that I truly grew up on. So it's a lot of landmarks that are changing, a lot of landmarks that are being rebuilt, a lot of different things that they're doing across the West Side. So growing up on the West Side, you know, it's kind of different now. For me, it means removing the minority, regardless of what the minority is, removing the minority for the majority population. So that means rebuilding and restocking or redoing the area for the majority, not the minority. So that means if they feel like the majority is white, or they feel like the better dollar is for the white, they're gonna, regentrify an area to, not to say cater to, but cater to whatever the majority is.
Yeah. So do you see a lot of people in your neighborhood, like your peers? I know like Killer Mike and T.I investing a lot. Like people around that's rappers, but like it's people in your neighborhood, like homeboys taking advantage because a lot of people getting rich off the West Side and communities like that all over the country.
Right. It's a risk factor. I know a lot of people that's doing it. I know a lot of people that's buying up property on the west side. I know a couple of people that's selling property, but a lot of people that's buying the property, they grew up on the west side, so they're buying property that they can cherish, that they feel like can go for other generations of their families and our families just as a black community, the black community that it started at.
All right. So what kind of sports did you play growing up?
Played everything growing up, actually. Football, baseball, basketball mainly. But mainly football out of the three. I was actually like one of the top ranking quarterbacks in the city of Atlanta growing up.
Okay. What school you went to in the A?
High school, I went to Mbagz. I couldn't finish out my career at Mbagz. I stopped my 10th grade year due to I had a shoulder injury. I messed up my shoulder back in the 8th grade, but I tried to carry on through it. Turned into a whole nother situation.
So what's some essentials? What things you need when you in the studio vibing?
It depends. It depends on the type of day I'm having, man. Sometimes I need the vibe of people. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I need, my extracurricular drinking and smoking. But sometimes I don't need it. It truly depends on what I'm going in the studio for, how I'm going in the studio, what's my true purpose of being there. Because sometimes it takes, the extra drink or two to bring the true emotion that I want for a song out, or the true route that I'm trying to take. You need that extra boost sometimes. So it truly depends on the situation.
Bet. So how many projects you got out? What
Right,
are some of the names of them?
right now I only have one true project out that is real and winning. I just dropped back in May, towards the end of May, right when we were coming out of quarantine. Real and winning raw, out on all platforms, hosted by DJ Plugg and DJ Steel. You can go get it Apple Music, as long as you look up Plugg Real and Winning or Plugg Raw. It doesn't matter. That's my latest as far as mixtape or what you would call album. It's no true definition between them these days. But singles, I've been dropping visuals after visuals for the past couple months. I'm getting ready to start back dropping visuals now. I got a lot of music. I've been working. I can't vote. I'm actually on probation right now, so I can't technically vote. But anybody that can vote, any and everybody that can vote, because it's a lot of people that are convicted felons or have been convicted, and they're not on probation or any active parole, and they think they can't vote. So if you're not on any probation or active parole, man, go vote. Go do what's right. This 2020 election is something, but do your research. Make sure you're not just going for what you hear. Make sure you go for what you know. This election is one of the biggest elections I know for my generation, so I can only imagine other generations.
Bet. Alright, so what's next? What new projects we got going on? What's next for Plugg?
Man, I got a lot in the mix. You never know what you can get from me. Just follow me on Instagram, _the1 Plugg with 2 G's. That's _1 Plugg. That's Instagram. You can follow me on Plugg. It's Plugg, YouTube, and just Plugg with 2 G's on any streaming platform available. And you never know what you might get any given day. I might just wake up and drop a new visual, new song. Who knows? Yeah, man. Shout out to Will Hustle TV, man. One of the realest in it. Believe it. We're breaking them off. Never take a loss. Go get that real and win.